It is repetition which makes for perfection.
Welcome to the first stream of 2023. I'm just using this pencil. It's a Lumograph 100. Swamp Thing. Light source above. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a restful, contemplative New Year's, end of the year. I wanted to welcome in our mods. We have Kirihiko, Mod Prime, from back in the day. It's like I didn't have the opportunity to wish her a happy birthday on stream. So, and then we also have PK somewhere in the house. There you are. I think Crispy is out. I didn't see him. And yeah. So anyway, I'm just drawing. My eyesight has gotten bad to the point where this is all kind of blurry, but I trust that it's. I'll just draw based on feedback from the audience. The people in stream chat. So yeah, I've been very silent on social. I don't know, just a weird year. Maybe I'm just getting to that point where I just don't care about social media so much. Maybe all the craziness surrounding the drama around Twitter. I don't know. I try to see what it would be like if I just laid off social for a while and it was nice. Nothing changed. The world didn't end. Sales didn't collapse. And in fact, and for the longest time, like unless I posted like things, so it was just I don't know. Why mess with a good thing, right? Not even saw lots of hate. Axis 1970. Very interesting. The Axis 1970 posts about hate. Yeah, there's a lot of negativity online. At this point, I just kind of ignore it. But so yeah, a lot of existential questioning at the end of last year, but that's just me. Okay. This is for those of you, this is a Micron 05, and it is the marker that was closest to my hand. Yes. Okay. So I figure this would be a low pressure, mellow stream. I had certain anxieties about it last year, I think, just because I hadn't set it up at a permanent spot. It just had set it up my old PC, which I had moved to a different room, so I just didn't want to deal with the aggravation of setting it up anew elsewhere, so I just kind of moved everything into that other room, which was not very satisfying. It was very cramped. But now that I've moved it over to the proper place, this seems certainly would be easier when we use ink, and if I paint anything, yeah. SM Cardi, good to see you. Why he? 62 months in a row. That's insane. Have we been around 62 months? I guess we have. Computer don't lie. You guys are going to be all old men and women at some point. FedEx or a courier, but yeah, it's we draw on paper, analog, so it usually has to be physically delivered to him. Yeah, I have done a couple streams, so I need to pop them up on YouTube. I'll do that later today. Daniel J. Bosco, thanks for the bits. Will you be at any Florida cons in 2023? Possibly MegaCon. Um, I have 3, maybe 4 shows lined up already for 2023. Excited to say that several of them, if not all of them, so far are in cities I haven't been to in a long time or have never been to. Um, I think the first show I've got is La Mole. That's in Mexico City. Don't. I should. But I went through a very large laziness stage at the end of last year. Just like shut down. And that's probably why I didn't stream when I wanted to. Um, and I figure it would just naturally come back, just like anything. Desire, initiative. I've done conventions over in the UK, London, Bristol, I think. I want to do the that Thought Bubble show. I think it's in Leeds, if I am correct. But anyway, Mexico City is the first one. There's some other cities in the South, Midwest, but I'll let those show organizers make those announcements. But yeah, I'm booked up through part this year. Oh, or hopefully return to a show in Italy this year. Hello, Ryhart23, first time in chat. Yeah, that's very creative. Certainly finding people online. Get kind of sucked into these sensationalist stories. Anyway, dun 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 dun. Yeah, I'm just waiting for an artist from the future to come back in time and tell me, like, there's a war. We need to stop them. We need to stop the AI art movement, or humanity is doomed. Dun 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 dun. Come with me if you want to live. I guess I'm intrigued by AI art. I've talked about this last time. I don't have an issue with it, but I haven't seen it rip me off yet. So maybe once it rips me off, then I'll have a much more emotional, focused opinion. But I feel like it's just a tool. I downloaded one of those apps. I was playing around with it. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I wasn't getting anything very satisfying. But I've seen things online. It was really kind of a hot thing for a moment. So I think it's a tool. It would be kind of interesting to do an entire comic using an AI engine. But I think I would use it as a starting point, and then I would digitally add or change things based on obvious mistakes or things that could be improved. Could be real, you know. I've just heard the same reaction, like the advent of digital technology, drawing on a computer, even Photoshop, you know. They're just all tools. I'm not sort of, I don't have a knee jerk AI is bad sort of mentality. You know, artists are supposed to be creative. Theoretically, free thinkers, people that are open to new and novel ideas and experiences and concepts. Unless it threatens their livelihood, then it's a no-no. But it's no, I don't believe that. So I do feel like, okay, let's see what happens. And also, look, I also don't think you can stop. It's very hard to stop technology from progressing. Like once Napster started, like it was very hard to put that genie back in the bottle and say like, no, you know, pirating music or um, these sort of online sharing services need to be banned. You saw how successful that was. I think artists just need to up their game and show why they're indispensable as part of the creative process. And I believe that. Look, you know, think of all the what was it, the software that would allow people to create websites, but you know, some horrible websites were created using that software. You know, all these tools exist already. Anyway, and that whole the painting of the AI, I inputted some photos. It was very limited, I thought, and it worked best when it was just a straight-on portrait, which makes it feel more just like just a filter. I don't know. Did stuntmen get pissed off with the advent of visual effects? Did they feel like that's not a real fall? That's a shot of a digital image falling through. You know, there's no one even falling. Doesn't feel authentic or true. But I just not. Look, if you have the goods, you have the goods. And if technology can that easily destroy your appeal or value, then gotta fight harder. That's what I think. That said, I still like drawing physically. I don't draw too much digitally. Um, this is just one marker, and I'm adding texture, shadows, line weights. A lot of it's just sort of reacting to the lines I put down. And if I make that thicker, I gotta make this thicker over here. So some of it's causality. Causality? Is that the right word? Why do I question so much? I should just say causality. AI is texting me. uh, anyway, so for the holidays, I did a little skiing. It was pretty exciting. Um, yeah, it's an amazing experience. And 40 years now. And I was in and down, up and down, over these undulating hills. And they weren't particular steep, but it was amazing how much speed you would pick up. And I was like, all right. It was like there was like a tree here, like a pine tree. So all these pine trees over here. And then here's the other side of the chute. And then the undulating hills were like, okay, hopefully that makes sense, right? So you would ski like, so I went up the embankment, which is a good way to slow yourself down, except I wasn't really slowing me down. And before I knew it, there was a tree in front of me. And like, but it did scratch up my chin. I didn't feel my face, but all these lift operators were like, hey. So that was Christmas Day. And yeah, so I don't recommend trying to burst through tree branches. It did not work. It laid me down and out. So that was kind of fun. My hands and eyes are okay. Who knows what I did to my brain? But it just finally kind of healed now. 8 days, 2 weeks later, yeah. My shoulders are good. Shoulders are good. Had massive snow. It was the Sierra Nevada mountains between like California and Nevada. What's the lesson? I don't know. But I got these skis that skiing and go straight line. But now the technology has changed that there's watching that snowstorm come over the peaks of the mountain. Um, Whether you believe in God or not, it makes you fearful of God. It is really powerful to see a strong storm come over a mountaintop very rapidly. It is, you know, think about like what life would be like on other planets if you were like trying to colonize Mars or one of Jupiter's moons or something. Like probably see some pretty crazy things that just like nature does not care about thee. Thou art too small of a speck in the universe to make a difference. I mean, it's full on Armageddon level seeing that roll in. But I do like a good storm. It's a good reminder. That the world literally does not revolve around you. That storm will come whether you're here or not, whether you protest or not, whether you like AI art or not. It does not care. Why am I talking like Thor? Appreciate it. So, have you guys made any resolutions? I'm not even a big resolution person, and I still made resolves. I'm not going to say resolution. I did not call forth. Sugar is one of the, like people talk about tobacco, alcohol, hard drugs. There's a very good case, and others way smarter or with more social media influence than myself have made the argument that sugar is the worst of them all. I highly addictive, very hard to give up, omnipresent in all our diets. The root cause of so much unhealthy behavior. Sugar is good, but refined sugar, like, were we meant to have that? It's sort of the age old conversation about technology. Like, just because we can make it, should we? just because we can clone people? Should we? Like, sort of, there's the ethical piece of it, and there's the what's it called? There's the ethics piece of it, and then there's the social impact piece of it. I guess that ties into the ethics. It gets down to like, if we introduce this, if we introduce AI art, what will happen to society? Should we care? We usually do care. And I think about what we were intent, like people, there's a whole movement around, especially in food, like dieting, like what we were meant or designed to eat, and that's how we should follow those natural sort of instincts or cues. And I do subscribe a little to that line of thinking, right? They go like, oh, because we have canine teeth, we were designed to eat meat. Okay, but were our systems really designed to have like diet free or sugar free sodas, for example? And they're so powerfully addictive, I guess, sugar, because the harmful effects don't take years, if not decades, to affect us. That's why there's not such strong opposition. What is that? You mean like oxtail soup? Is that true? Can someone confirm that? Have I been doing it all wrong all this time? Yeah, PJ Beiser. I'm with you there. I agree. I've tried all sorts of different ways to sort of cut calories, and NutraSweet or any of those, I think it just makes your body crave more sweetness. It has a sort of ultimate negative impact. No, I've had Korean oxtail soup. Michael Stead, we got to get you oxtail. It's amazing. What is oxtail? Are you talking? You guys are making it sound. When you draw, you got a lot of free time, so might as well use that brain power. It's kind of like when you have your PC mining crypto while you're sleeping. While we're drawing, we're only using the parts of the brain that actually draw. Like, might as well activate those other parts that concerned about the proliferation of technology, bad diets, refined sugars. I assume that Swamp Thing does not eat anything. He's like half plant. He gets his nourishment from the sun. He poops out oxygen. This is canon. Snail is good. Yeah, snail. Getting denser. It should just really just go to black like this. Like, that's the faster way. I'm doing this sort of slow, methodical, noodly way, but this will all go dark, and I'll get there. Jeremy Eljo, how does he create bees? Procreate? He's not a flower. I assume he releases spores. Maybe he needs bees. Maybe there should be a bunch of bees, like a bunch of bees flying around him when he's mating season. Oh, it's that time of year again. Um, this is probably when you've overthinking a character too much. I think he's more like a fungus. Swamp Thing a fungus? I was curious. I think Swamp Thing and Man Thing were created around the same time. I wonder what inspired. It was Len, right? Len Wein? Come up with a name. Okay. I want this to be darker over here. Anyway. But technically, every marking I put on this with the marker is degrading. You know, if I had a copy of a comic and I just started randomly putting markings on it, it would reduce the rating. You know what I'm saying? But if you put those markings in a organized fashion to create an illustration, that's okay. When systems are first created, they're not necessarily created knowing all the ramifications or implications later in life when things change. And that's kind of where we're at in terms of grading. There's a demand for people, demand by consumers to have graded sketches, and so they had to kind of rethink what how they grade. So it's hard to draw without creating marks on a piece of paper, both intentional and unintentional. That's what I'm trying to say. When it rains, welcome in. Oh, is that the case? It feels like it, I guess. You know, everything's cyclical. You just can't keep doing the same thing and expect people to get excited. And that is true of creating art, creating entertainment, creating sketch covers, new ideas. And that's why we have like things like Mexican pizza at Taco Bell. People aren't happy with their usual fake tacos and burritos. Like, we got to keep people excited for the next big thing. What are we going to introduce? Mexican pizza. Right next to the Mexican stir fry. Uh, cilantro. Okay, let's toss a shadow down here. Like I said, you could do this quite a bit. Mexican pizza is just an unfolded taco. I feel like if we're going to create a Mexican pizza, you just create a new name, please. Just, the original pizza rolling over its grave. Let it out of its misery. Create some other fake name for the food. Cheese thing. Queso? No. I'm still thinking of names for Mexican pizza. Sorry. You should be as well. You should all be thinking. Mexican pizza is just AI tacos. How true is that? Taco flying saucer. I now I feel like I'm intrigued. I want to try. I did not. I just saw it on the menu. Yeah. But then I am also a civilization gone amok. Our culture is being pulled by hundreds of millions of people, all running in different directions. And they're running paths we haven't even decided. I don't decided. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, so I contributed to the destruction of modern civilization as well. I feel all those people that are supporting Mexican pizza at Taco Bell. You have an ally in me, unfortunately. Toll Booth 10. Have you seen the menu? I did see the menu. Very entertaining. It's on HBO Max. I work for the company. I'm not allowed to say that what I really think of the show. No, it's actually super clever, intriguing, definitely worth a watch. Keep the streaming platform on all the time. Accumulate those hours. It's just on like a radio at the house. F8 photo. I hate to admit I love Taco Bell. Why do you hate to admit? Nothing wrong with Taco Bell. They just strayed from their mission, their prime directive by introducing Mexican pizza. That's all. I think Taco Bell has the best hot sauce of all the faux Mexican eateries. Someone, yeah, give me some of the hot sauce that they will go. I've bought Taco Bell hot sauce in bottles for my own, but then I'm like, I don't put that, and that stuff is free, so I stopped doing that. But you can buy it in bottles. I had bottles of that stuff. It's just the right amount of vinegar. It's very kind of Tabasco-y kind of thing going on. hot sauce. Well, I wonder if they always had mild. I'm sure at some point they just had one sauce that was called hot sauce. As food culture's palate widened, and it has changed. Like I remember back in the day when kimchi was considered really spicy, and people were like, I can't. This is like the 70s, early 70s. And now I consider it really a mild in terms of spice, hotness, right? We live in an era of the one chip challenge. Kimchi's like, it's like white bread at this point. I remember Noggles quite a bit. Eric Fisher art. Noggles was subsumed. It was purchased, I think, by Del Taco. They merged back in the day. So that's why that Macho Combo burrito is gone. That's where I used to. Noggles, I would get the Macho Combo burrito. Human Target is excellent. I don't know how you can watch a stream and read a comic at the same time, but Bernard Chang did the one chip challenge on the stream. Thank you very much, F8 Photo. It does not bother me, and I'm excited that you like the backpack. Hot Ones challenge and try it. Nah, I'm. If I have to do that, I'm just gonna give it up. I'd rather try to draw a full comic book in one night than do the one chip challenge. Our 9-year-old son wanted to do the one chip challenge. He took a tiny little speck corner of that thing, and he was vomiting outside. His older brothers are laughing gleefully. As older brothers are wont to do, I think they convinced him to try it. Me too. Me too. Not necessarily this piece, but the sentiment in general. I agree with you. But I think it'd be worse. It'd be worse. I don't know if it's the worst, but if you had an infinite amount of cash, resources, would you want anything? I think initially you would, right? You get everything you want, and then after a while you're like, I've got everything I want. What do I do now? And now I gotta organize it, store it. Like it's making my skin break out already. Just thinking about it. These are not issues that 99.99999% of us will ever have to deal with, but I think about it when the lottery gets really high. It's just like, wow, if you won, it would change your life. But in some ways, in many obvious ways, it would be for the better. But in other ways, especially if you had kids, like they knew that you had just inherited, or they were going to inherit so much money, like, wouldn't it just break your spirit in some way? Like, make any sort of ambition less interesting or challenging? I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying? Correct. But finding that amount, it varies from person to person. That's the problem. Wildstorm CCG. Still holding out hope. I appreciate the thought. 100%. It's 11:24. We started late. This is a short stream. I set it up purposely to be short just so that I didn't overcommit. And one of my resolutions is to be a little more diligent about streaming. So I'm just helping cast the shadow, and it's dark here. It lightens up as it goes here. Let me turn this way, this way. Axis 1970. No cleanest ink. Nope, nope, nope. Gotta get back into shape to do that. This is a warm-up sketch. This is my first drawing for 2023. We're 8 days in. I feel like I should draw like Swamp Thing at the start of every year and just compare all the Swamp Things over time. Say, yep, in 2023 he lost the ability to draw. Just check out that Swamp Thing. Hello, Pandemus. Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it. So yeah, one of the things I want to do is obviously get back in the swing of things, streaming wise. And I know I've said that before. It is a real thing, real desire, and certainly getting this rig set up in its proper final place was important. So I do feel like I've made a big step behind the scenes. All right, because where it was set up was a common area, and so things just will get moved and things wouldn't be working. Blah blah blah. My kids kind of also share that space with me. Okay.